Hello and welcome to the week ahead video. Just a couple of things to brief you on over the next 5 trading sessions. Of course, this week brings the much awaited and much touted FOMC rate decision, where expectations are for the FOMC to pull back from their $85 billion a month bond buying program. So expectations are for a trim back of roughly $20 to $25 billion in total QE, which would bring it down to $60 to $65 billion. Analysts do remain pretty split on whether this trim back will be solely in the Treasury's purchases or if it will be evenly spread across to the agency mortgage-backed securities buys also. So we'll see how that turns out on Wednesday. But also worth noting for the Federal Reserve, as of this weekend, Larry Summers, the frontrunner to take over from Ben Bernanke as the chairman next year, has officially pulled out of the race, citing an acrimonious confirmation process, leaving just Janet Yellen and Donald Cohn as now the frontrunners to take over from Bernanke in 2014. But elsewhere, as we head through the next 5 trading days and we go into the weekend, we see the German federal elections. Now, over the weekend, we saw the exit polls from Bavaria showing the German Chancellor Merkel's sister party, the CSU, retaining power. That was firmly alongside expectations, with a real important part being what form the coalition in Germany really does take. If it is retained as a coalition between the CDU, CSU and FDP, could see a continuation of the German Chancellor Merkel's wishes as we head through Eurozone crisis policy into the end of next year. However, if a grand coalition is formed with the SPD, could see some further political wrangling and delays in regards to the key topics of a Eurozone banking union. One more final thing to note this week on the geopolitical front: Russia and the US have agreed on a solution to the Syrian civil war. That is pressing Bashar al-Assad to hand over his chemical weapons stockpiles to international power by the midpoint of 2014. So some have seen this as US officials, particularly US Secretary of State John Kerry, as losing a bit of face against their Russian counterparts. And on a final note, this Friday is quadruple witching in the US stock market, so please keep an eye on any volatility. For the meantime, have a fantastic week.